Okay, recording this video on Saturday the 29th of June 2024, just gone 10:26 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend and it's time for another weekend futures market recap. I'll go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I'll show you what I'm seeing on my charts. Okay, so what do we say this weekend? Not much happened in the markets this week, fairly dull. And everything that I'm looking at is there's just landmines in front of us in terms of the political environment. So first of all, we got July 4th holiday weekend coming up this week. Leading into holidays, the market is always bullish. So there's a seasonal pattern playing out at the moment that starts at the beginning of this week, that rolls through July 4th to the early part of next week. So we've got a positive bias because of that. Okay. But at the same time, we also have now 3 election landmines sitting in front of us. So Sunday, we got the first phase of the French presidential elections. The French do it in 2 weekends. They do all the candidates on the first weekend, and then they count, and then they come down to the final 2 candidates, and they do the second vote on the second weekend. So we'll get the first view of whether Macron lose or lose badly Monday. The runoff will be next Sunday. So the euro is going to be all over the place, and I don't know whether Macron losing is good for the euro or bad for the euro. I have no idea. But anyway, we'll look at the euro chart. Then we have on Thursday, we have the UK general election, 4th of July. So looks like the Conservatives are going to lose badly in that to Labour. I don't know how the markets can react positively or the British pound can react positively to a Labour win. But anyway, it's out there. It's another landmine sitting in the way. And then, of course, we had the presidential debate in the US this week. And, well, the Democrats are all a tizzy, aren't they? Because they've finally come clean that they have a candidate who isn't all with it. So what are they going to do? They're going to hang on? Are they going to make a decision quickly? Are they going to roll to a new candidate? I think there's all kinds of problems by doing that. So I think this is fraught with danger. Again, a third political landmine. So France, the UK, America, we have these political landmines just sitting in front of us that could just go off and trigger markets in particular directions. The equities market is overbought, definitely. We're up here, but we got this positive spin into July 4th, so maybe we've got to play out that positiveness, and then maybe after July 4th weekend that seasonal pattern ends, and then we get a decent correction. Let's roll through the charts, show you what I'm seeing. We're in an uptrend on the daily mini chart. Here it is. The background's in red. Been talking about this forever and ever. It's because we got an uptrend in terms of price and volume. And all we've seen up here is Rambo patterns at the highs. So the new highs are being bought by the amateurs. So it's weak at these highs. Next chart down, the 135-minute chart. Again, background's in red. We're an uptrend in terms of price and volume. We have put in a nice little pullback to end of trend on the 135-minute chart here on the lowest time frame. Bang, up here. But we've got to break supports. And we've got to see blue professional bars at these highs. We've got to trail this thing up. So we're still on an uptrend on the 135-minute chart, which is important. And the last time we had exhaustion sell bullish divergence down here, we got rid of a whole bunch of sellers. At that point, we rallied to new highs, and we've seen nothing in terms of big reads, in terms of momentum up here at the highs. So that's all good for a continuation until we see that activity. 45-minute chart. Again, no blue professional bars, trailing stops miles away, backgrounds in red, uptrend in terms of price and volume. There's that pullback to end of trend. It's on the lowest time frame here on the 135-minute chart that then becomes the intermediate time frame here on the 45-minute chart. That's important. We had a confluence here of end of trends, low, intermediate, and we've got resistance on the highest time frame. Was that an end of trend? Possibly was. But anyway, that was super important. Ended up being an area where we just hung around for a bit and then we busted up to new highs. But at these new highs, it's not as if it's an exhaustion buy up here. There's no blue professional bars. So yeah, we could have some weakness, be caught by support in this time frame and just push it up again into another pullback to end of trend on this time frame. But again, we're miles away in terms of change in trend because the trailing stop is back here. Now, 15-minute chart, a little bit different. So last week's activity, I was saying, there was nothing to stop us up here because we had no volume patterns. We had no exhaustion patterns. We had no blue professional bars. We had no amateur bars, nothing like that. But on this week's activity on the 15-minute chart here, we had an exhaustion buy pattern. That was almost getting us out of this range. put in a bearish divergence at that point, and a whole bunch of blue professional bars at those highs, 55.80, sold it down. That's interesting. And we've also busted through this trailing stop, and the background now is in grey. So we're in a downtrend on this time frame, because in terms of price and volume, we're below the trailing stop and the bars have turned white, so we're in a confirmed downtrend in terms of the combo indicator here. So we're likely to go see a test back up at some point into this area. So 55.85, super important. It's the pullback to end of trend on the highest time frame here on the 15-minute chart. So this pattern just ripples through all the time frames. So it's on the highest time frame here, we go up a time frame, intermediate time frame here, up a time frame, lowest time frame here. So these patterns ripple through the time frames. So that's important for this week's activity. We could come back up, test into that zone, see more blue professional bars, or a week test into that and just see where it goes from there. But this is the first little blush here of some weakness in a downtrend on the 15-minute chart. And then 13,500 tip bar chart here. I was talking about the 55.20 area last week and saying that was absolutely key, and every time we came into it, broke into it, we got saved by the bell. Here we go, the first time on the Sunday night into the Monday. We had a little bit of a break here, but blue professional bars saved the day. We come back in, almost reach 55.10 here, blue professional bars step in again, hold it. Exhaustion buy, you can see now that that exhaustion buy is getting us out of that channel. It's busting it out of there. It's not at the highs. It's not making new highs as an exhaustion pattern. Then we have a little bit of blue professional down bars. Those hold, bang. Blue professional bars, big pro bars, hold, barred up here, bang, we go to new highs. And we've got a Rambo pattern, a bearish divergence, and we slunk off from there on Friday's activity, which is pretty bad. So yeah, we're down back here at 55.20, 55.10, around these areas. So let's see if this holds. We're in a downtrend here on this time frame and the 15-minute chart down time frame. But we got this seasonal trade happening with the bullishness into July 4th. If that doesn't hold Sunday into Monday breakdown, then that'll turn into something a little bit nastier than it currently is. But if that level holds at that point, we bust back up through 55, 51 up here, then we'll turn back into an uptrend, most likely, and that'll be the seasonal strength that we have going into July 4th. So, not convinced of anything at this point. So, let's have a look at the Euro chart. So, this is the most important one, the 1500 tip bar chart here. You can see we're playing around with these lows at 107. We had a swan dive into these lows at 107, tested into these lows. This week, a whole bunch of blue professional bars came in here at 720. And the market held, and this little retrace was amateur down bars on that retrace. So getting through 767 at this level here would break us into an uptrend. We've got some signs of strength going on here in the background. So getting through those levels will be good for a break into an uptrend. Again, just bear in mind we've got the French elections going on, which will probably play into whatever happens with the Euro chart there. A British pound, similar thing. We've got a whole bunch of blue professional bars coming out of the lows. 26.4, and then they come in again 26.2, big pro bars here and here. No exhaustion sell at this point down here. The last time we saw exhaustion patterns were exhaustion buy, bearish divergence flush, and then we sold off from that point. But we are above the trailing stop here after a Rambo pattern. Background's in red, so technically we're in an uptrend on British pound. Not actually sure what happened here with this spike to 27.10, but possibly some UK economic news, of course, that spike. We're trying to hold in British pound. Aussie dollar, same thing, just fussing around this week. I mean, we had a couple of weeks ago, these are really important levels, 67.2, blue professional bars kind of come in here, and then we had selling it down at this point here. We've not had blue professional bars coming at these lows on the retrace here, blue professional bars come in. Background's in red, we break through this support level here, 66.74, that'll take us back into a downtrend. Difficult to say directionally where we are on that. There's not a lot to say that that was a bottom being made in the Aussie dollar there. Japanese yen continued to weaken, but we've run into Rambo patterns right down here at the lows, having a bounce from there, but you can see the background's all been in grey, so it's just downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. And what's next? 10-year notes. 10-year notes now had a nasty week this week. So blue professional bars at those highs, then big pro bars sell it down at that point, bang. Confirmed downtrend, a weak little rally at that point, we break back down again, a whole bunch of blue professional bars kind of coming at the lows here. So that's significant on the 10 years, so let's see if the 10 years are starting to hold down here at these lows. Gold last week had a nasty week, big pro bars up here took profits, sold it down at that point there, bounced here off 2310 with blue professional bars. Background's in red at the moment, so we're in an uptrend at that point, but this needs to hold 2330 there on gold. Silver, similar thing. A little bit neater in terms of pattern down here. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, amateur bars down here, blue professional bars buyed up through here, and we've got the background in red, so we're in an uptrend technically on silver. Bitcoin cannot hold at the moment. We keep on busting, and it's like the 60 level this weekend is being tested at this point. Last areas that we've had signs of weakness, bang, 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 a whole bunch of those going on here. No exhaustion sell patterns down there. Some blue professional bars at the lows, but not a lot. And this retraces weak with amateur up bars, and we're rolling around, still in a downtrend on Bitcoin. Crude. Now crude has played itself out in terms of the trend move. So we broke into a big trend above resistance on all three time frames here. Big things happen at triples. Bang, bang, bang. And this has now run itself out. Pull back to end of trend on the highest time frame at that point. Sign of weakness going on there. And then we also had a spike up with a Rambo pattern at this point here. We've had big pro bars earlier on in the move. Let's see if this whole area holds. If we break through 80.50, 80.25, that's important for downtrend move in crude. And what have we got? Natural gas, yeah, nasty move down in natural gas. Big pro bars kind of push it up and then sell it down at this point. And big pro bars coming back in at 260, so that's important, kind of down there on natural gas. Copper trying to hold down here. We've got signs of strength, but no big pro bars, only a couple of blue professional bars down here at the lows. Corn, nasty downtrend this week, broke into a downtrend here. Exhaustion sell getting the move going, whole bunch of big pro bars selling it down, 440, bang. Starting to come back in at 400 though down here, but that was like a swan dive move down there. We've got to find all kinds of supports down here at these lows in order to get more than just a sign of strength like that down here at the lows on corn. Soybeans, a lot of big pro bars down here. They were active the week before down here at the lows, then at the end of the week. So this 1100 number on soybeans, super important. And wheat, continuation of the downtrend here, a little bit of strength, but then we've sold off with amateur down bars. There were just no blue professional bars at those lows to give us, confidence that that was a proper low being made at that point on wheat. So I have no conviction about anything on any of those charts. I just think it's going to be a news-driven week, and there's going to be some landmines that go off. We've got July 4th, which gives some seasonal strength in the equities market, so the equities market could rally because of that. And then we've got election news out of the US, out of the UK, and out of France that could give us all kinds of surprises. Hopefully next weekend we'll have a clearer picture, but just watch out this week. Anyway, hope trading is going well. Hope if you're celebrating July 4th, I hope you have a good July 4th, and we'll catch up next weekend.